I turned to holistic approaches for managing ulcerative colitis. I'm 48 years old now, and it's been 22 years since I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. Over the years, I've experienced all levels of disease severity, from mild flare-ups to severe, debilitating episodes. Today, I can confidently say that I have the disease under control. Through a holistic and well-balanced approach, combining targeted medication and major lifestyle changes, I've managed to keep the illness firmly in check. About 10 years ago, when I was 12 years into my journey with UC, I moved to a foreign country for a one-year work assignment. My twin children were 5 at the time and just starting school, and we were all adjusting to a new language and unfamiliar environment. To make things more difficult, my spouse fell ill during that time. It was one of the most stressful periods of my life. Anyone living with IBD knows that stress is one of the main triggers for flare-ups. Managing this condition requires a calm, stable, low-stress lifestyle. But life doesn't always cooperate, and there are phases where stress becomes unavoidable. In my case, during that 1 year abroad, my symptoms returned with intensity. Up until that point, I had been managing my condition primarily with suppositories, as my inflammation was limited to the rectal area. But now, the symptoms were spreading, and my doctor prescribed oral mesalazine, acecol. Surprisingly, my symptoms worsened. There was even a suspicion that I might be reacting to the oral form of the medication, despite having tolerated the suppository form well. My doctor then recommended I start immunosuppressive drugs like azathioprine. I was hesitant. I had always wanted to avoid corticosteroids and immunosuppressants if possible. That's when I began searching for natural alternatives that could work alongside conventional treatment. I came across a health coach who claimed to have had ulcerative colitis himself. He said that 40 years ago, doctors wanted to remove his colon, but he healed himself completely through a strict raw vegan diet and lifestyle. He had written books about his method, claimed to be cured, and had many clients who followed his guidance. I was intrigued and hopeful. Under his direction, I began a very rigid dietary protocol. He promoted 100% raw food, mainly fresh fruit juices and smoothies, with only about 10% of the diet allowed to include lightly steamed vegetables like zucchini, pumpkin, or sweet potato. I eliminated all cooked foods, dairy, grains, legumes, salt, and even medication, following his advice strictly. For the first 5 to 6 weeks, I experienced intense rectal bleeding. My coach assured me this was a sign of detoxification, a natural part of the body's healing process. Despite the severity of symptoms, I remained committed. I stuck to smoothies made with pears, grapes, bananas, figs, and dates. Occasionally, I added fresh vegetable juices like celery. Cooked food was limited to just a few times per week and kept extremely simple and bland. While I did feel some improvement, maybe 60 to 70%, I never fully reached remission. Any small stress, even a short trip away from home or minor dietary change, could bring the symptoms back. Eventually, I realized that relying on diet alone wasn't enough. About a year into this regime, I restarted my medication alongside the diet, and my condition improved significantly. I continued this raw vegan lifestyle for about 5 years, hoping to reach full and permanent remission. But then, something unexpected happened. I learned that my health coach had passed away, at the age of 60, from pneumonia caused by inhaling a contaminated substance. The man who had always preached that a raw diet would make the immune system invincible had succumbed to an infection. That moment shattered my faith in the raw-only approach. I decided to gradually transition to a more balanced and sustainable way of eating. I didn't want to lose the benefits of healthy eating, but I also knew I needed more nutrients and a less restrictive diet. I began introducing cooked vegetables, fish, gluten-free grains, legumes, yogurt, kefir, and healthy fats like olive oil and sesame. I avoided all processed sugar, refined carbs, trans fats, and anything artificial or packaged. I also brought in regular physical activity and stress-reducing practices. This comprehensive plan, medication, nutrition, movement, and mindful living, helped me achieve the best control I'd ever had over my disease. Let me be very honest, If someone claims that any diet, including raw veganism, can completely cure autoimmune diseases like IBD, it simply isn't true. Diet can help manage symptoms, reduce inflammation, and improve quality of life, but a successful strategy needs to combine medical treatment, proper nutrition, exercise, and stress management. My 22-year journey with ulcerative colitis has taught me that even if you've been hospitalized, taken corticosteroids or biologics, or felt hopeless, there is still a way forward. If you follow a smart, integrated, step-by-step plan, like the one I share in this channel, you can regain control of your health. IBD is complex, but it is not undefeatable. If you stay consistent with a scientifically grounded, holistic approach, anti-inflammatory nutrition, a balanced lifestyle, regular movement, quality sleep, medical guidance, and emotional resilience, you will be able to manage your disease, reduce your reliance on heavy medications, and reclaim a fuller, more vibrant life. Let's walk this path together, step by step.